got to start with Tottenham, knocked out by a championship team, no trophy. Look, you might win the Champions League, but I think we all doubt that you're going to. No trophy again for Tottenham. Harry Kane is close to getting no legacy in football because he's getting older. He ain't winning trophies. What next for Tottenham, Patrick? Talk to me, Patrick, because Spurs are categorically in the mud again.
Oh, where do I start? Oh, well, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to everyone, depending on what time you're watching this. You know what? Even I got humbled yesterday. I was arguing with Tottenham fans in the group chats. I was backing Spurs. When I saw that lineup, I said it was enough to beat Sheffield United. Oh, how wrong I was. Because, they made 8 changes, by the way. Sheffield United are a good team, don't get me wrong. They're second in the Championship, so they're looking like automatic promotion. But listen, there's no way Tottenham should be losing to that team. That's a favourable draw. When you see the teams that are left, you take Sheffield United away all day long if you're a Spurs fan. So when I saw the lineup, I had a few reservations, but I was like, no, you know what? It's good enough to beat them. And then as the game kicked on, you just saw it, man. And it's the same bums year after year. Dyer, Davinson Sanchez, Ben Davies. These 3 players have been in so many squads that have been knocked out. So they're backup rotational players, and they're just not good enough. And when we change 1 or 2 components, the level of the team just drops drastically. No Kane starting, no Romero, and you see the difference. Even that, I didn't even think about it at the time, but Romero got 2 yellow cards against Fulham, I think it was. That was the game before Leicester. So he missed the Leicester game. And you saw the difference of Leicester in the other games. I mean, we kept 4 out of 5 clean sheets in the Prem. And the one catastrophe, that 4-1 battering, was when Romero didn't play. Again, obviously, yesterday Romero didn't play. And Davinson Sanchez is so crap. He's like a Bambi on ice. And what gets me is that in his first season from Ajax, he actually looked good. He was raw, but he had all the attributes to be a top centre-back. He was quick, could read the game, tackle, tenacious, fast, had all the attributes, good in the air, good at 1v1, good at jockeying. And then since then, he's regressed. And yesterday, the guy just kept falling over for no reason. And he's getting torn up by Championship B team players. And Dyer as well, captain in the team. When you got Dyer as your captain, that just says it all. Ben Davies is so crap. I don't know how he gets away with it. No one really talks about him, but he's so bad on the ball. He had about 10 turnovers yesterday. He just keeps passing the ball to opposition for no reason. Lucas Moura looks good. He'll run all day, but there's no end product whatsoever. The guy's crap. Other than the hat-trick in Amsterdam and the hat-trick against Huddersfield, the guy's done fuck all in a Spurs shirt. He should have went ages ago. And it's just too many players. When you talk about management, and when you talk about why fans are angry or leaving, when you talk about why Tottenham fans are so disgruntled, it's because we see so many players that should have been moved on 4 or 5 years ago, and they're still playing, and they're playing in decisive games. These are cup knockout competition games, so you win or you go home, and they're playing for Spurs in these big games, and we keep fucking losing.
I get this, but do you know why Spurs get so much shit for this? It's because every year you guys tell us half your squad's crap. Your owners don't invest, but every summer you act like you win the transfer windows. You big up all your players. You say you're on par with everybody else. You say you're going to win things, but then by the end of the season, when you win nothing, you guys are moaning about how bad everything is. But then come the first game of next season, I guarantee you 80% of the Tottenham fan base will be talking about we could put a title push in. We'll definitely win a trophy this year. They'll do combined 11s and put 7-8 of their players in over everybody else's. Like, that's why you guys get so much banter, because for a team that wins, a team that has spent £1.7 billion in the Premier League era, okay, the 4th highest spenders in Premier League history, the fact that you've done, maybe the 5th highest, but the 5th highest spenders in Premier League history, to have won 2 trophies in that time, and to have so much chest when talking to the rest of the top 6, it's crazy. It's crazy, Patrick.
I don't know about. It depends who you talk to, innit? Because I mean, even when I saw George, because obviously I watched the show on Monday or Tuesday, whenever it was, and he said we're definitely going through, and I was like, oh, never jinx it, because obviously you need to respect opposition, and they're not a crap team. Yeah, we expect to go through, but he's like, yeah, it's an easy time. We're definitely going through. Stuff like that will come back to bite you. So when you say fans are doing combined 11s and adding 6 or 7, I don't know. I know what I'm about. I'm a balanced. Obviously, people say I'm biased, but I feel I'm a balanced Spurs fan, and I like to call it how I see it. So Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of play. We do have a good team. So the thing is, when people go too far one way or too far the other, I try and pull them up on it, because as bad as you lot are saying it is, we are still fourth in the league. We're still in the Champions League with a shout of going through. So that it's not all doom and gloom. So I won't buy this notion that the wheels are falling off, our season's almost over. It's not. It's not. Let's come on. But obviously, it's very disappointing and it's embarrassing when you get knocked out to a team that you should be beating. So let's just relax a bit.
No,
you know, the wheels aren't falling off yet. We're not 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th like other teams. We're still within a fight. We're 4th right now as it stands. We deserve to be there.
Is that a trophy,
and we're still in the
Patrick?
It's not a trophy, but I'm just saying,
at the beginning of the season,
be a bit balanced with it.
Did you not say at the beginning of the season that you guys wanted a trophy?
Of course.
But you're saying the wheels aren't falling off deep. And I'm not saying this is not obviously it's not your fault. You're a Tottenham fan. But as Tel just said, you've won 2 trophies in 30 years and you're telling me the wheels aren't falling off.
It's embarrassing.
There's no wheels. There was never any wheels, babe. There was nothing there.
Well, there haven't been wheels on Tottenham's car since the 60s. Let's be honest here.
Come on,
Patrick, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think you're actually deeping the gravity of that result yesterday.
Listen, I deeped it. I'm a Spurs fan. Of course, I deeped it.
Every season, let's be honest, the FA Cup is your best chance of a trophy because you're not going to win the league and you're not going to win the Champions League. Let's keep it a buck. So to lose to a team who made so many changes because they're focusing on championship promotion, and let me say that again, championship promotion is what they're focusing on. So they made so many changes for them to still turn you over and for you to create the little to nothing chances that you did, despite having who you might call crap, Premier League quality players all over the pitch. That is very, very concerning. And there's one person that I want to target in particular because my club do a lot of business. And whenever something doesn't go right, our players get flogged again. But this Richarlison guy is getting away with fucking murder. This is a Premier League player who has done a good job at Everton. You paid 60 million for him. And when Harry Kane's not playing, it is his responsibility to bring the goals that are going to win you those games. And
Roy, can you remind me how many goals does he have in the Prem this season? I've seen to forgotten.
You know what? That is a very, very easy figure to remember because it's a grand total of 0.
Oh, perfect.
0 Premier League goals.
Thank you.
Nil point.
And guess what? Okay. My winger Mudryk is getting flogged all over the timeline when he wasn't in this league before he joined us. He's about like 5 years younger than Richarlison, and he's the one getting all the stick. But your guy, who's been in this league for years now, is not getting any stick on the timeline when Kane's not playing.
I don't know what you're living under. He's getting
scoring you goals.
Do you know what's crazy, Roy?
I want to know why that's not happening. Why is that not happening?
Roy, I want to interject before we get the answers as to why. Listen, we all get predictions wrong, but one I got absolutely spot on is Richarlison at £60 million was massively overpriced. I got laughed at for saying Ollie Watkins would be a better signing. Ollie Watkins,
100%.
At a worst, no, he wouldn't.
What's worse than 0 goals?
Ollie Watkins. I don't think Ollie Watkins is that good, but the point I made is he'd be a better signing. Ollie Watkins in a worse team, actually with a worse manager. Let's be honest with you. Like Unai Emery's good. I think we'd all say Antonio Conte is a better manager than him. And he hasn't scored a goal in the Prem. He scored a couple of goals, I think, in the Champions League. And do you know what's crazy? Man United and Arsenal fans, the babies online, the betas, they're so busy arguing over, like, sort of, is Anthony now the biggest flop, or is Pepe? They're missing a golden opportunity to focus on Richarlison, who's done diddly squat at £60 million, an established player who's lived in Britain long enough to have a passport here. He has no excuse of acclimatization. He isn't young. It's crazy. Richarlison, honestly, he has been the flop of the season by a country mile. It's a great shout, Roy. It's a great shout.
But Tel, I think you're 100% right to say what you're saying about Richarlison, and I'm sure Spurs fans in particular were going through that starting 11 yesterday after the game, being like, okay, this person wasn't good enough. Davinson Sanchez to point out one. But the point still remains that lineup still should have been able to beat Sheffield United. And it's getting to a point where you've had Jose, you've had Poch, you've had Nuno, you've had decent managers, you've had decent squads, you've got a world-class striker. You have to now start looking inwards and thinking, okay, there is something systemically wrong at Tottenham because it's it's even beyond a joke. Like, I'm not even trying to do rival banter. Like, it's beyond. It's beyond a joke.
Can I chip in now?
No, you can't. You're a loser. You're a loser. What happened to this chest, Patrick? I think we're gonna win the FA Cup, and then I got Deji thinking that you're gonna win the Champions League. It's all boring, man. Can't even get an FA Cup. Wow.
Can't even. When's the last time United won the FA Cup?
Richarlison.
Hold on.
2016.
The only trophy I'm gonna win is the Mario Kart and your new go karting underneath your stadium.
So again, let's relax.
Man United won it in 2016, bro.
Yeah, so it's quite a while ago, isn't it, for a club of Man United?
I mean, I'm just to say. When did you last win it? When did you last win the FA Cup?
I don't
Premier
know.
League didn't exist.
Well, you don't know. You don't know.
I'm not out here throwing out.
The last trophy you won is a Carabao, G. You got to get yourself one of those.
Nah, it wasn't even.
I'm drinking on that trophy. I'm sipping on that good stuff.
Okay, all right. So let me add some context to all the wild things you lot have been saying. First and foremost, for Richarlison, yeah, he has been a disappointment. Of course he has, but you have to add context to any statement or any argument or anything that you put out there. The guy's had 2 big injuries this season. Also, obviously, he rushed back for the World Cup, so he wasn't really match ready even when he went to the World Cup. Got injured again. He has been a disappointment, I agree. But then we also have to add to the point that he doesn't play in his natural position. Yesterday, he played in his natural position for the first time in a long time. We've been putting him on the wing. That's not really his favourite position. So he's not really... And then when he does come in, he plays sporadically. Everyone knows that players need to play and get accustomed to regular minutes, and he doesn't get that. So that is a thing that is actually affecting him. So yeah, it's obviously a disappointment, but it is what it is. He's still a good player, but to tell me that Ollie Watkins, I'm not buying that.
Is a better striker than Richarlison.
No, he's not.
Yes,
No, he's not.
Yes,
no, he's not.
He's
no,
very,
he's not.
very easy.
One bad season, it means that all of a sudden like, come on. Sometimes players take a while to adjust.
How many
We've
good
seen
seasons
this.
has Richarlison had exactly?
He's a player that has done very well at Watford, and then he did really well at Everton. Hence why he got the move. The guy's a quality player. You've seen it in the World Cup what he can do when he's actually balling. So let's not act like
one game.
One game. He played well in quite a few of the games.
No. I swear you had one great game and that's it.
No. He played well in quite a few of the games. He might have one really good game, but he played well in quite a few of the games.
So Patrick, what in your opinion then? In your opinion, what is actually going on? Because as Tel said at the beginning, he said that, you guys, whether it's you or just generally, but I think we can agree that you've probably had some transfer windows in the last 15 years that you've loved and thought, yeah, this is a decent squad. We should be able to win something. Even your current squad, you've got some very good, decent players. You've got some world-class players in that squad. So in your opinion, what is stopping Tottenham getting across that finish line to only have had one trophy in the last 15 years?
In my opinion, it's mismanagement of the squad. So there's players there that should have been playing more minutes so that when the time does come, when they are called upon, they actually can perform. Danjuma come in, he's a good player. He's literally played about 30 minutes in the Spurs shirt. You see players like Davinson Sanchez, they're rotated in for big games, but they never play any other time. Tanganga was a good centre-back at one point. He's fallen off a cliff because he never gets any minutes. He wanted to be loaned out a few times. The club keeps stopping him from being loaned out, but yet when he's here at Tottenham, he doesn't play. Buying players that don't fit certain managers' ways, getting rid of players, you're looking at bad scouting in terms of the clientele, people they're bringing in. Lo Celso, Ndombele, these are big time. That's 100 million right there that doesn't play for Spurs anymore. So you're looking at mismanagement, arrogance as well, not playing the better players to knock out the team, and then obviously you can bring the subs in.
Is this as best as it's going to get, Patrick?
Yes.
No, of course not. Why is this as best? No, it's not as best as it's going to get. Why?
I'm
you mean this season?
No.
This is what pisses me off.
No. Period.
Come on.
No. It's a valid question. Wait, hang on.
It's not a valid question, is it? It's not a valid question.
Hang on, wait.
Stop now.
No. Breathe.
Stop.
No,
breathe. Rattled.
I'm not rattled.
Breathe.
It's a stupid question.
Cole, let me just interject for a second. It's been 5,300 days since your last trophy, 15 years. As Expressions said, if you went out today, Patrick, in the anger of Spurs losing and committed murder, you would be out before Spurs win a trophy.
That was the best part of that video.
It was, and Expressions is right. And I'm always going to credit the people that say these things. It's madness. You've had players like Ericsson leave your club, emigrate, win, die, move back, change clubs, win, before the likes of Harry Kane. I honestly mean this, and I know you said in the group chat you don't like how people are, every time you guys go out of a cup competition, people turn around and say Harry Kane's got to leave.
Yep.
And I know you hate it, but you say it's boring, but I'm talking about you don't love him. And you guys are so toxic to Harry Kane, it's unbelievable. You lot are keeping him in some kind of Fritzl dungeon, right? You don't really love him. He is
Oh my God.
He's got like Stockholm syndrome staying with you. You lot have got to set him free. He is a world-class player in terms of ability and statistics and outputs, but he's never going to be a legend of the game without major trophies, because there isn't a legend of the football world that just has stats and no winning on a global level. He'll be a Tottenham legend. He'll be a goal-scoring legend in the Premier League.
He'll be a Premier League legend as well.
Yeah, I'm talking elite here, right? I'm not comparing him to Luke Chadwick or Anderson or John O'Shea. I'm naming some United players here. He should be in the debate for who's the best striker. Him, Henry, Aguero, Rooney, as examples. There's more names. Drogba. He should be in that debate. But Harry Kane can't enter that debate without major trophies, because we've never seen Harry Kane deliver in finals or in title run-ins. And those two elements are essential. So for me, it has to be a question every time you go out of a competition, because Harry Kane ain't 21. The man's rolling into his 30s. His career is in its
30 with no trophies. A player of that ability.
I feel sorry for him. Harry Kane, honestly.
Listen, all of this rhetoric, I feel sorry.
Children in need or comic relief need to do a segment for Harry Kane. Because that guy needs charity, bro. He needs out.
We're not holding him hostage.
Did a Fritzl joke go over you man's heads, by the way?
No.
Anyone that's watching this, go type up Joseph Fritzl if you want.
Yeah.
Do I really want to encourage that?
Harry Kane.
They built a dungeon, bro. They built a dungeon.
Yeah, by the way,
we're not holding him hostage, by the way. Like, Harry Kane is also part of the problem. Harry Kane has been in ample semi-finals, finals. The guy forced himself to play in our biggest game ever, which was the Champions League final, and he wasn't fit. He wasn't match fit at all.
Then.
Yeah, exactly. But Harry Kane, Poch was a coward because he shouldn't have played him. But Harry Kane should have also been honest and not put himself up to play.
You man should have invested.
So he was literally a statue.